Hello friends, so welcome to this lecture on network security groups in Azure or NSGs in Azure. So this is another control with the help of which you will be able to secure or harden virtual machines, because when we use NSG, basically we can control that okay, what kind of traffic would be allowed to your virtual machines on which you will be hosting your application or where you'll be storing your data. So that is why with the help of NSG, we can have additional or layered approach or the another control to basically control the traffic or secure or harden our VM. So that is why NSG is important. So what is Azure NSG? See, network security group basically contain the security rules that will help you to create rules or deny inbound or outbound traffic from various resources like your virtual machines or your application service groups, or let's say from certain CIDR ranges. And network security group or NSGs gives you the ability that, so that you can configure rules or control the traffic which is coming to your applications or to your virtual machines, or the traffic which will go out from your virtual machines. And with the help of NSGs, there is a capability that okay, you can assign the NSG to a single virtual machine or to a group of virtual machines by enabling it at the network interface card level, NIC level, or at the subnet level. So don't worry, you will see that in a demo or the during the evaluation rules as well when we study how the NSG rules are evaluated. So in this case, we'll try to understand the format and what are the different rules created when we create a NSG. So if we'll talk about the format, so the first one is priority, wherein you will define the number to a particular rule, NSG rule, which you will be creating. So the number between 100 and 4096. So the lower the number, higher the priority of the rule. So let's say if there are two rules, 101 and 102. So in 101, if you are denying a traffic, but in case of 102, you are allowing a traffic for a same protocols. In that case, rule with the lower priority will be processed. So make sure that okay, you plan prior to creating the rules that okay, what all priority and what all protocols you want to allow. And the another is source, that okay, what all traffic, what all service you want to allow, what kind of network range you want to allow, let's say for your particular VM, that you will define in the source. So there are different options, like you can mention the IP address, single IP address, you can mention the CIDR range, you can mention the service tag, application service group. So service tag is like, let's say you want to allow traffic for a particular service, for a key vault, for a Cosmos DB, for a SQL storage service. So in that case, basically you can use the service tag. So service tag is also like you want to allow traffic from Azure load balancer or from a virtual network. So you can define all those within the source as well. So you can see the color combination where the information is same. I have the color combinations. So like, and similarly you can define that okay, what all ports you want to allow. You can specify an individual port or as well as a range of port you can define over there within the NSG. And then is the destination. So in the destination you will having the similar kind of information you can mention in the destination as well. So I have mentioned the color coding accordingly. Similarly, in the destination port you can have the individual or the port range. So application service group is like if you want to allow traffic, let's say for a particular application, so you can mention the application service group as or security group as well, like we create the application service group to allow traffic for a certain application. So you can mention the source or destination as your application security group as well. And then in the protocol you're having the option whether you want to allow TCP, UDP, ICMP or any other protocol. And then the final is that okay, what is the decision, final decision, whether you want to allow the traffic for which you have mentioned in the rule, or you want to deny the traffic. Accordingly the rule will process the data. So that is the format of the NSG rule. The next thing we will discuss is whenever you create a NSG or a network security group, there are certain default rules which are created or you can say by default rules which are created. So the next time when you'll be creating the rules, you'll be defining the rules having priority lesser than from these rules. We can see when you will create, there are three inbound rules and three outbound rules which are created by default, and these are the priorities assigned. So if you'll see the first rule, it is the name is allow VNet inbound. See, the first thing we need to understand is the logic behind NSG rule is, if you'll see the rules, I mean the uh, rule configuration as well, by default no other inbound traffic is allowed, or let's say if you have want to allow traffic for port 80 or port 443, by default nothing is allowed. Only the traffic between the virtual network, see the source and the destination is virtual network, wherein it is saying allow VNet inbound, means within the virtual network or VNet the traffic is allowed, and traffic from the load balancer is allowed. This is, we are talking about the inbound traffic. Then deny all inbound. Apart from that, all other traffic is denied in case of inbound. Similarly, if you'll see in case of outbound rules, there are three rules. Allow VNet outbound, means if the source is from the virtual network, destination is also the virtual network. Then allow internet outbound, means from any source, if the destination is internet, it is allowed. So if you want to modify this rule, then make sure that, okay, not this rule actually, if you want to deny traffic for the internet within this rule, make sure that, okay, you have planned accordingly, that, okay, because there will be number of virtual machines who will be installing updates and all those things from the Microsoft website on all those things. Then you have is the deny outbound, that any other traffic is denied. So these are the by default rules which are created when you create the network security group. So this is it, friends, in this lecture. In this lecture, we discussed about the NSG, its format, and then what are the different rules which are created. In the next lecture, we'll try to understand how these different rules are evaluated when you apply these rules at a NIC level and at the subnet level. So thank you, friends. Thank you for watching this lecture. Meet you in the next lecture. Thank you.